Hello guys. Okay, so today we'll be talking about user management and groups. Okay, so basically, as an administrator, user management is crucial. It is extremely important for you because it's something you would always find yourself doing. You would always find yourself doing it. You have to create users, you have to delete users, a lot of activities. We're gonna do a lab. Immediately I go through all the initial commands that you should know when it comes to managing users and group. So let's jump right into it. So if you want to know who am I, like who is currently logged into this system, you can use the who am I command. So let's start with that. So who am I? I'm a humble student. Okay, so another command you can use is the ID command. Now, what does this ID command tell you? Let me clear my screen and run on the ID. So this command tells you, okay, this is my user ID. Every user has an ID. This is my group ID. Okay. Then these are the groups I belong to. Notice that this group here is also the same with this one. And also we have another group here. This will group gives you administrative privileges. So this student account has administrative privileges. Okay. So and some other things. Um, moving on. Now every file. Let's see what is here. Oh, good. There are a couple of files here. So ls minus l. So every file is owned by a particular user. Every file is owned by a particular user. You can see student owns all these files here because why? In his home directory. Now let's also check processes. To check processes, you can use uh, ps minus aux. And when you do that, you see a lot of processes, and you can see the owner of this process. You can see student, root. The system also owns a couple of them. So you can see having a user is important. No matter what you're doing, whether you are an administrator or you need a process to run, you need a user for that process. That process will run as a particular user. Okay, will run as a particular user. All right, so let's jump right in. I think that's enough. Let's write some code. So to add a user, first of all, I need to log in as an administrator. So sudo, which means super user do, which means carry out this action as a super user. S, which means switch user, and minus, which is the first short form for minus minus log in. So let me use the long form this time. So what's the password for students? I put that here. Good. Now I am now a root user. Okay. So all right, so let's move on. So the first thing I would want to do is to create a user. So let's create some animals. Let's assume this is an animal kingdom. So we need user add. Let's add a lion. That's all. As simple as that. There's a new user, and his name is Lion. Now, but wait, how do I know that this user actually created? Where is he? Is in the Etsy folder. So you can cat slash Etsy slash password. Let us pipe it into tail. Let's just see. Let's see just two. So you can see the lion here. So there's the user Desmond, but this is just the user who created. This is where he's located. But also, you want to also give. Let's say you want to give lion a password. So you can just password lion. Now change the password for lion. New password. I want to give lion a password. I'm giving him lion. Saying bad password, but it's fine. I'm an admin. I can do whatever I want to do. That's the power of being a root. So I'm giving lion a password. All right. So I can ID lion now. You can see the group lion belongs to only one group. Okay. Now what if I want to add a group? You use the same method, group add. Okay. So let's add group. Let's add a farm. So this is an animal farm. Just like that. Now do I know where the group is? So cat again. This time I won't use the guy that will I think it's group. Okay, I'll just cut everything out. So this is the group farm. Here, you can see the lion that we You can see the line that we created. What we want to delete this group now? This group Ade. I want to delete Ade. How will I go about it? It's just simply to say group del Ade. Cannot remove the primary group of you. Cannot remove the primary group of user Desmond. Okay, because Desmond is still available, so that I can remove the group. Okay, let's remove Desmond. So user del terms. Okay, let's remove Desmond. So Desmond is out. So now let's remove Ade. Now I wonder how come Desmond's group is Ade. We'll explain all that later. So yeah. So if we check the group now, can see there's no Desmond there, Ade there anymore. All right. So we've learned how to create a new user, create a new group, delete a new user, and delete a new group. Okay. So I've learned 4 new commands. We've learned user add. We've learned user del. We've learned group add. Our learned group del. Okay. So we're on a roll. All right. So let's create a scenario now. There's also another command called the user mod. Or this to modify a user after creating that user. Remember we had a user lion and we created a group farm. So let's id lion. Lion is not in the group farm. What if I want to add lion to the group farm? I just say user mod minus a, which is to add, then minus g, which is to add the supplementary group, and the group is what? Farm. And who is the person I want to add to farm? I want to add lion to my farm. I just bought him. So let's id lion now. Lion is now in this group called farm. You can see it here. Now we'll say, why would I need to put someone in a group? Now, for example, you're in a department, you're in a unit, maybe you're in the software development team, and they have to make some changes in Linux, and they have a particular file, a place where they push their code to, or something in particular where they need a Linux machine, and they all have a file they write to. If I'm to give permission to that file, I have to give permission to the file with a particular group where everybody in that software department is a member of. So I can easily add them to the group farm. You understand? So everybody now has a stake in the farm. Okay, everybody now, every file that belongs to the group, because files also belong to group. If I let's see something, you can see good. Now in this, now you can see this first guy here is the user. This next guy here is the group. So this file belongs to the root group. So I can also give a file and say, okay, this file you are going to belong to farm. So anybody under that farm group Lion can make changes, Rat can make changes and all that. So, okay, now let's say I want to now create another user. Let's say Rat now. User add Rat. No, not yet. Now user add. I want to create Rat, but I want to add Rat to the group farm. Okay, you see farm. What's his name? His name is Rat. So let's ID Rat now. See, Rat belongs to farm and also belongs to his primary group. Rat. This is Rat's primary group. Okay. So now let's ID. Let's check all the group now. Everybody in the group farm. So we're going to cat slash Etsy slash group. Okay. Now I know. Let's pipe it this time. So tail. Just want I don't want to be messy. Number. I just do one. So this is the rat group. Hold on. Beep, pam, pam, pam. I want to see the members of that group. Okay, this is farm. So you can see rats, which is the latest group we created, but farm is also there. This was what I wanted to show you, farm. So this farm group, you can see we have both rat and lion belonging to this group. So what did we just learn? Let's say I'd like taking a recap. So here we created a new user rat, but rat, while creating it, we added it to the group farm. Okay, so now we know how to add a user to a group using um, user mod. I'll know how to create a user and by default add a user to a group. So I'm making huge progress already. I'm making huge progress already. So now I want to
This is
create.
just an introduction. In part two, we'll dive more into user and group management. Thank you.